Welcome to today's T-Sarp episode. I'm your host, Andrew Weir, and today we have special guest Sam on the line to talk about the Looks tab in Scratch, part 2 of our Scratch series. So, Sam, you want to
Hey,
tell us a little bit about the Scratch Looks tab?
yeah, sure. So the Scratch Looks tab, is the purple tab in Scratch that says Looks. Imagine that. And there's very many things you can do with it. Um, One good example of, say you're making a story. You can use the say or think blocks. Those are very cool because it makes whatever sprite that has the block, say or think whatever you want. So, like, say you're thinking, I want cheese pizza. Now your sprite can too. How fun.
Yeah,
Uh,
so the Looks tab is used for many different things. You've probably used it if you've used Scratch or Hatch. If you haven't, and you have no idea what we're talking about, learn. Yeah, so
yeah.
this is kind of just a sum up of stuff you don't know. So we'll go over some of the blocks, and hopefully you'll learn something that you don't already know. Um, so Sam, can you tell us how you've used the Looks tab in some of your games?
Yeah, of course. Um, so I use the Looks tab all the time. For costumes, to size, to graphic effects, and to hiding and showing things. Um, Whenever I need like a new costume or like I'm making an animation, I like to use the next costume or switch costume to. But say I want that animation to get smaller, like me in real life. I can use the change size by or set size to
That,
do that.
that's my joke, Sam. You let me say those. It's not
Um,
funny if you say it about yourself.
uh,
Yeah. So like blocks like the say block will, like Sam said, allow you to say different things for different amount of time. Also, if you don't like the little say bubbles, you can use the think block to get a think bubble. If you want to switch your costume, which I did a lot in my game in Oyo Halloween, switching from the different sprites that you can earn and stuff like that. So you can use switch costume. I also did switch backdrop a lot, and you guys might have too, when you're going between different levels and stuff, or home pages to other things, you'll use the switch backdrop block. Also, if you don't want to go to a specific one, you just want to go to the next one, you can use next costume to go to the next costume, or next backdrop to go to the next
I
backdrop.
do want to point something out. So
Mm-hmm.
look in the backdrop drop down for switch backdrop to. There's a next backdrop, a previous backdrop, and a random backdrop. But now look in the costume one. Nothing. This is
Hmm.
discrimination against backdrops in costumes.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting. I've never noticed that before. I wonder why that is. It's very. I've also never noticed random backdrop. I don't think I've ever used it, but if you guys want to use it, it's there. Um, there's also the show and hide blocks. So at the end of your game, if you want to hide your sprite, you can do that. Or if you're like in a cut scene, like I've had a few of them in a Oyo Halloween, which was probably the most hated part of the game because it took up like 10 seconds of your time that you did not want to look at.
Like YouTube
But yeah,
ads.
like YouTube ads. Also, say your player gets trapped behind a wall. It's terrible, right? Well, now you can go to front layer and he'll be free to play and
Oh my
die. And
god.
oh wait, that's a dark turn. Um, but say you
Um,
don't want him to go all the way to the front. You can use the go forward by X amount of layers or go backward if you want him to stay behind that wall.
yeah. And if I may, another great set of blocks are the graphic effect blocks. You can see the change and set color effect. You can change it or you can set it. I use the ghost effect drop down a lot. Cause say you're making a nice button that fades in and out when you click it, you can do a change ghost effect by 10, and it just makes it fade out really nice. Um, and it just looks very polished and smooth.
Yeah. Also, there's the change size by 10 and set size, like Sam was saying about his height. So if you had a game where you go through life or something and you wanted your player to grow taller and wider, you could use the change size by to make them gradually get bigger, or if you want them to set to a specific size, you can use set size to X amount of percent.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
that's
you can use a lot of math with that to make very cool things. But we're not on that yet, so keep it quiet.
yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There's some variables at the bottom, so you can check your costume number, your backdrop number. Also, you can check their name to see if the name equals something and then do something. You also have the size, so if you want to show the player the size, or you want to, like Sam was saying, doing math or something, you could use the size variable.
Yeah.
So I think that pretty much wraps it up for today's episode.
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
next episode we'll be moving on to the sound tab. That
Boo! 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 Boo!
okay. I think we might
I thought we were doing that today. Sorry. Sorry.
no, yeah, that's next one. Some days we might combine certain tabs with other ones if they're shorter. So you might get a double, you might get a 2-for-1 deal. How cool is that? Cool.
Wow.
The My Blocks tab is one of those short ones. It actually comes with nothing. You have to make your own. That's like giving someone a gift and being like, no, this is just a bunch of wood. Build your own.
No, it's IKEA. It's pretty much IKEA.
Yeah, it's like if you got an IKEA table for Christmas and they're like, build it. And you're like, why did you give me a table in the first place? And you're like, that's a really good question. That's the
Yeah.
question I would ask myself. So, just a quick reminder, if you're in Hopog, make sure you submit to this month in brackets. I have officially finished the new website, so it's going to be exciting for all you to test it out and see how it's going. I'll leave the link below if you just want to look at it and figure out the last in brackets competitions and look at those projects and stuff like that. So, yeah, so I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'm your host, Andrew Weir, signing off, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye bye.
Bye bye.